I made a comment explaining why female bodies are stronger than male bodies, and I got a lot of comments like this. Try go down a mine. We did. All the time. And we still do today. Your comment is a perfect example of why Women's History Month is important. Because it shows blatant lack of knowledge of how much physical labor women have always done. Going all the way back to when we were hunter-gatherers, which we were for the majority of our time here, women also hunted. Makes total sense because most of us were probably smart thinking and teamwork hunters. Like lions, where male lions, if they can help it, are not helping. When we became farmers, females also worked the fields, which makes sense because it was probably a female who invented it. Some societies even had women doing the majority of physical labor, while men sat inside huts discussing battle plans. What's interesting is that positions of power do not require physical strength, which is the only thing men have going for them. If you think about it, it would make far more sense to let the weak women do that. That's a different story though. Now I just mentioned war. Another thing I hear all the time, well, who fights the wars? Who starts them? It's true, men do the majority of fighting. Majority. We think that's because of breastfeeding. We're supposed to breastfeed children for 3 years. Women are the only ones who are physically capable of doing that. So we literally had to stay behind, while obviously still taking care of the farms, carrying those babies on our backs. Why do you think we started carrying them on our backs? So we had our hands free to knit socks? Not that knitting socks is not useful. It's not like half of African American slaves were just doing chores in and around the house. That said, suggesting that working in and around the house was not physically challenging is not accurate. Modern inventions have changed the game. Some people seem to believe that the women of the past literally just sat around looking pretty. I mean, yeah, white rich women did. Women not having jobs comes from very recent history, mostly Western. The 50s housewife is an exception to the rule, and also a very white phenomenon. Not having to have a job was a status symbol. It literally meant that your husband had enough money to keep you in the house. It was super elitist. This is also why for the majority of history, and in a lot of countries to this day, it is a beauty standard to look like you sit inside all day. Pale skin, soft hands. If you have the time, please Google Chinese lotus feet, a now forbidden tradition. Sure, you guys get the coal mines. Except not really. Stop insulting your own mothers and grandmothers. Do not forget, the idea that women have to rely on men's muscle power is BS. Just check out African elephants who've ditched males altogether.